Hey everyone, it's Air Force Proud 95. Right now I'm in the VATSIM network in this US Airways Boeing 767-200. Right now I'm at the Philadelphia International Airport. I'm going to be departing here shortly for a flight to Charlotte, North Carolina. Philly Departures is online, so we're going to have some ATC on the way out. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the video. Alright, right now we are sitting on the ramp in Philadelphia. This is the CLS 767-200, which is a pay-wear aircraft. I'm going to be doing a longer departure video. I've had a couple requests for this, and I'm going to give it a shot. I have an abridged checklist for this 767. It includes everything that's applicable for the sim. The original checklist has some stuff that just doesn't have any effect if you apply it to the sim. So I'm going to be going over all the steps for the 767 on this departure, minus anything dealing with the FMC or the FMS. I'm just going to be using default GPS, and we already have our waypoints and our flight plan plugged into the system. So I'm just going to be using that for the departure. We'll go ahead and get started at our overhead panel. There we go. Okay, first thing we're going to do is turn on our battery switch. We're going to set APU. We're going to start the APU, and the APU generator will turn on automatically right here. Verify that parking brake is set, throttle is idle. I know it is, we'll give it a check anyways. Flaps are down, spoilers down, and gear is down. Okay, back to the overhead panel. We will turn on our hydraulic demand switches. Here we go. Set them to auto. Left and right yaw dampers. Okay. IRU selectors, all three of them will be set to navigation mode. Panel lights on. We'll go ahead and turn them on because it's the evening time. We'll be needing them here pretty soon. Okay, next we're going to turn on our left and right generator cont switches. Left and right utility bus switches plus the bus tie switches will be turned on. We'll turn on our navigation lights as well as our fuel pumps. Okay, continuing on, we're going to turn on our emergency lighting switch to make sure that it is on and armed. Verify that engine starters are set to auto and that the engine start switch is set to single, which they are. Logo lights, we'll turn those on now, as well as our fasten seatbelt and no smoking signs. Window heat switches, all four of them will be turned on, as well as the forward, mid, and aft cargo heat switches. Verify that our APU bleed switch is on, and our left and right pack selectors will be set to auto. Okay, trim air is on. Left and right recirculation fans will be turned on. Cabin temperature selectors, all three of them will be set to auto. And then last but not least, forward cargo AC is on. Okay, so typically now we would check that our flight plan is, we'll set our flight plan up in the FMC. We already have that set up in the default GPS system. We have updated navigation on it though, so waypoints are up to date and everything. Alright, so now we are continuing on with the checklist. We're going to check Philadelphia ATC here in a minute. Real quick, we're just going to set our auto brakes to RTO, rejected takeoff. I'm going to check ATC, call it for clearance here in a minute. There we go. ATC frequency is going to be, let's see, 133.4. And departure is going to be 124.35.
Link. PPC respect not required. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Charlie.
Alright, so Charlie is current.
Philadelphia International Airport information, Charlie. 00540. Wind 100 at 3. Visibility 10.
Clear cloud net 10,000. Shield 25,000 broken. Temperature minor, 2.5. Altimeter 3008.
Converging runway operation.
Alright, so we have Philly ATIS information Charlie, wind 100 at 3, expecting to depart on 27 left. We'll go ahead and set up our altimeter, which is 3008. Okay, and we're on Philadelphia departures frequency right now, so we'll call up for clearance. Philadelphia departure, good evening, Cactus 833 Heavy, request IFR clearance to Charlotte. We have information, Charlie. Okay, so we just received a PDC, or pre-departure clearance, from Philly departure. So it's basically just like an in-text version of a clearance. So the information we were given, we'll go ahead and get that set up. Our transponder code is 3007, and we're going to be on the Philadelphia 9 departure, which is going to, off of runway 27 left, take us out on a 270 heading, because it's a non-RNAV departure. So we have our ATC clearance. We'll set up our autopilot real quick. I usually just after departure will put in 160 as a hold initially, and then increase that as we gain altitude. Put it up to 5,000 and maintain 2,500 feet per minute in the vertical speed selector, and our heading will set to 270 for departure. Okay, so we have our ATC clearance, the autopilot is set, our radios are set. We're going to be on the same frequency, 124.35 as we are now. Squawk is correct as we were assigned. Altimeter is set to 3008. We are ready for pushback. We're going to disengage the jetway here in a minute and get started. Okay, so we are ready for pushback. The jetway is detached. Real quick, we're going to set our nav GPS mode to GPS, since we are going to be using the GPS system on departure. Check our annunciator lights real quick. And they seem to be working fine. Anti-collision lights, back to the overhead panel. We'll turn a red anti-collision lights on. And we are now ready for engine start, so we'll do that while we are pushing back. Okay, so as we're pushing back, we'll go back to our overhead panel. We're going to set our engine number 2 start selector to ground mode. And we'll wait for at 20 to 22% N2. We'll set our fuel control for engine number 2. We'll set that to run, which is behind the, it's going to be in the throttle panel. Okay, and we'll repeat this process for engine number 1. Okay, so both engines are up and running. We'll go back to our overhead real quick and disengage the APU. And now we'll set stabilator trim for takeoff. Usually we'll set that to about, say, 5 degrees. Okay. We'll go back to our overhead panel real quick and set our left and right engine bleed switches to off, or to on, and we'll turn off our APU bleed switch. Okay, we're just about ready to taxi, so we'll call up for taxi clearance here in a second. We verified that GPS now switch is set to GPS, auto brakes are set to RTO. Go and turn on our taxi lights, in addition to our wing lights. And we don't need anti-ice right now because we are not below freezing, so we are ready for taxi. We'll give a call. Philadelphia departure, Cactus 833 Heavy, ready for taxi with Charlie.
Runway 27 left, taxi is Juliet, November Sierra 1, and cross 27 right.
Alright, runway 27 left, taxi via Juliet, November Sierra 1, cross 27 right, Cactus 833 Heavy. Alright, and as we're taxiing out to runway 27 left via Julia, November, and Sierra 1, we'll go ahead and get a few things set up real quick. We're going to turn on our flight director switch, as well as our heading and altitude hold switches, so that's ready on departure. Let's see, we're going to set flaps to 15 degrees. And here's taxiway November, so we're going to turn right here, cross 27 right, over to 27 left.
Cactus 833, continue taxi. Departure will be back in like 30 seconds.
833, Heavy, roger. Alright, so we're gonna come up here and hold short runway 27 left. Just wait on departure here for a couple of seconds. Before we do, we'll go ahead and take care of a couple things on our before takeoff checklist. Our white anti-collision wing lights will come on, and we'll turn on our landing lights as well as our strobe lights once we receive clearance for takeoff. But until then, we're just gonna hold here in position.
And fully departure back.
Fully departure, Cactus 833 Heavy, ready for takeoff, runway 27 left.
Cactus 833 Heavy, flying 270, wind 100 at 3, runway 27 left, for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 27 left, Cactus 833 Heavy. Okay, there's our takeoff clearance. Turn on our landing light and strobe lights are on.
And Cactus 833 Heavy, just confirm heading 270 on departure.
Heading 270 on departure, roger, 833 Heavy. Okay, so we are on center line for takeoff. We're going to increase N1 to 60% and then wait for it to stabilize and then increase to 85%. Okay, there's 65. We are stable, increasing to 85% N1. Here's 120 knots. 135, 140, rotate.
So it's the departure south.
And positive right gears coming up. Going to maintain about 12 degrees pitch.
November 69, Philadelphia departure, go ahead.
Yeah, 71 Lima is on the ground at Trenton, request fire clearance to Philadelphia.
Passing 1,000 feet, we're going to take out our first notch of flaps, and then
833 for the departure radar contact altitude.
Cactus 833 Heavy is climbing through 2,000.
Cactus 833, climb maintain 10,000.
Up to 10,000, Cactus 833 Heavy. Alright, so we're going to climb maintain 10,000 as assigned. Increase our speed up to 200 knots for now, and then once we reach 200 we will take out all of our flaps.
Cactus 833 Heavy, proceed direct STOEN.
Proceed direct STOEN, Cactus 833 Heavy. Alright, assigned direct STOEN, which is our first waypoint on the Philly 9 departure.
Cessna 71 Lima clearance to Philadelphia class Bravo airspace. Maintain VFR at below 3,000, squawk 0601.
Okay, cleared into the class Bravo at or below 3,000, maintain VFR, squawk 0601, South 71 Lima.
Cessna 71 Lima, readback is correct. Let's see here. 71 Lima, squawk normal, and runway 16 text is the hotel.
Alright, we're continuing our climb up to
Cactus 833 Heavy, leaving my airspace to the west, near and off my radar service terminated. Change to advisor frequency approved. Good night.
over to advisory, Cactus 833 Heavy. Thanks, we'll see you. Alright, so we're on advisory frequency now. We're pretty much on our own here. We're climbing up to 10,000. We'll go ahead and kick that all the way up to our cruising altitude, which is going to be flight level 360. Coming up on 10,000 feet. For right now, we'll turn off our runway turn-off lights. In a minute, we're going to be turning off our landing lights. Our wing lights will be turned off. And coming up on 10,000 feet now, we can turn off our landing lights and increase the speed. We'll increase up to 280 for now. And then we'll continue increasing once we're above flight level 180. Then we'll be in the Mach category, and we'll increase to our Mach, which I believe is going to be 0.78.